Shalom Israel. Call Halal Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rekah Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and who rule well. And a sincere salutations to the tabernacle of David, you Akim pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth in all truth, in all faith, and in all sincereness, risking and putting your lives on the line daily for the names Yahweh, Wah, Yahweh Shai, and a healthy shalom to the Akwath who are listening and learning. It's Zakar'Yah coming at you with another lesson, and Lord's willing, it be edifying. So we brought this phrase out at camp last week. We kept talking about how throughout this pandemic they continue to move the goalpost. All right. So to move the goalpost, the definition of it or what it means, it reads: if you accuse someone of moving the goalpost, you mean that they have changed the rules in a situation or an activity in order to gain an advantage for themselves and to make things difficult for others. And here's it used in a sentence.
They seem to move the goalposts every time I meet the conditions which are required.
They seem to move the goalposts every time I meet the conditions which are required. So every time you meet the conditions that are required, they ask more of you, more of you, more of you. Okay? They continue to move the goalposts. And throughout this pandemic, that's been the elites, these Edomites, their MO. All right? They've been continuing to move the goalpost on you, Jakes. Okay? Because you thought if you just complied, everything would go back to normal. Hey, if I take my 2 doses of juice, I can, continue to live life as normal. Everything will open up to me and everything will be good. But we're telling you, no matter what you do, that old normal is never coming back. There is a new norm. And this new norm is going to continue forever. Because this is all, a part of their great reset or their new world order. Okay? So I'm going to play a video and then we're going to get into a couple articles. All right. So this is a video of Daniel Andrews talking about the unjust. And it speaks for itself. So.
Like, why would you just get the system going? Why would you have the thing up and running and then essentially pull all that down, pull all the architecture that you built, all the infrastructure that you built, the culture that you've changed? Why would you change that 4 or 5 weeks later? We will not be doing that here. I'm not going to say to someone, oh, look, just wait us out, will you? Just wait 4 or 5 weeks and then you'll be able to go to the pub. No, if you make the judgment to not get vaccinated and you reckon you can wait out us or the publican or whoever you want to think you're waiting out, you won't wait out the virus, because the virus will be here for a long time, and your only protection against it is being vaccinated. This will be well into 2022, well and truly into 2022. Then we're going to get into booster issue, so it won't be your first and second dose. It'll be have you had your third, and then the other issue will be, well, who knows what variant's coming? Who knows? Like, we don't. So we've got every reason to be confident. We've got every reason to be optimistic and upbeat. The Victorians have done an amazing job, but that job includes us making some difficult decisions, and that's to keep people who are not vaccinated out of some of those venues that we've been talking about today.
So how long do you foresee us?
I can't put a date on it. I cannot put a date on it, but I can tell you this: it will not be when we reach 90%. It will not be, anytime soon. That's going to function for a period of time well into 2022.
There's been reports that there's been thousands.
For instance, I'll give you an example. The Grand Prix is in April. I don't think there's going to be crowds at the Grand Prix made up of people who have not been double dosed. Just to give you a time frame. Doesn't mean it'll end the day after the Grand Prix, but that just gives you some sense. Please don't play that game of let's just wait them out, and then we'll be able to do everything we want to do and have not got jabbed. No, that will not be the case here. And if you make that choice, it'll be a very long wait, and you won't outwait this virus. If you're not vaccinated, you'll get it, and you've got every chance of becoming very, very unwell.
Okay, so you're not gonna outweight this thing. Okay, you've heard it out of the horse's mouth. All right, he said even if they're up to 90% juiced, it doesn't matter. He also said earlier, not in this video, that even if they met the goal of 80%, the mandates were going to stay in place. So what we're trying to tell you is it doesn't matter. They want everybody to take this juice. You know, Dr. Fauci said 70%, then 80%. And they just keep lying, man. They just keep backtracking and just lying and continually move the goalposts. Okay, because the wicked are estranged from the womb. They be born speaking lies. They can't get right. Plain and simple. And what else does this devil need to show you? Okay, what else does he need to show you? He's shown you plenty that he's not a man of his word, that no matter what he says, he's going to do the opposite. And it just is what it is. You know what? Let's bring out a precept. All right. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. And it reads, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." We're not ignorant of his devices, of his lies, and how he continues to move the goalposts. Okay, because the scripture says, never trust thine enemy. Okay, this man gives you no reason to trust in him or to believe in his science. Okay, falsely so called. But y'all will not learn. Y'all are not going to learn. 2/3 of our nation will not learn and will not take heed to the warning of the prophets. Okay? So let's go, all right, to this article. All right, so this article was, I believe, from October 3rd. Okay? And it reads, Israel will require a booster shot to be considered fully vaccinated. Okay, so if you remember anything about Israel, originally they said if you took if you got two juices, you were considered fully jabbed. But once again, they moved the goalpost, and now it's 3. All right, and you know, the media is not showing a lot of what's going on over there. Protests have started up again because the citizens that have taken 2 of the jabs and don't want to take a 3rd are now protesting with the people that are unjuiced. Okay. So it's a lot going on. So anyway, it says, we're just going to read a little bit of this. This is from October 3rd. It says, Israel on Sunday introduced new rules to determine CV jab status, making a booster shot a requirement for full inoculation and juice passport. After pioneering booster shots for everyone 12 and older, Israel is believed to be the first country to condition the validity of juice passports on having received a booster. The country said it would soon cancel, listen to this, the country said it would soon cancel the juiced passports of more than 1 million people, mainly those who are eligible for but have not yet received a third juiced shot. To be considered fully juiced in Israel, people must meet one of the following criteria: be 12 or older and have received a booster jab at least a week ago, be within 6 months of having received a second jab shot, or be within 6 months of having tested positive for 19. The booster shots are Pfizer jabs, by far the most commonly administered in Israel. In Israel, the green pass, a digital or paper jab certificate, is required for entry to public spaces, including restaurants, hotels, clubs, culture venues, and large private gatherings. Unjuiced people can only gain entry with proof of negative rapid tests carried out at an authorized test station, which is valid for 24 hours, or a negative PCR test valid for 72 hours. The change in policy came after Israeli health officials and experts identified significant warning of immunity in people 5 or 6 months after their second Pfizer dose, and after studies indicated the effectiveness of the booster shot in preventing severe disease, as Israel battled a fourth wave brought on by highly infectious Delta variant this summer. All right. So like I said, they continue to move the goalposts. All right. And this article was from the New York Times. All right. So now I got one more that we're just going to dive into. All right. So this is from the Business Insider. And it reads, individuals who are fully juiced now might not be considered so in the future with a C-19 booster shot, CDC says. All right, so let's read these bullet points. It says, as booster shots roll out, the definition fully juiced might change, the CDC says. Currently, being fully juiced in the U.S. means an individual has both doses of the Pfizer or Moderna juice, or one dose of the J&J juice. About 6% of the U.S. population has far received a booster dose, according to the CDC. All right, so continuing to move the goalposts. All right, and there in America, Babylon the Great is following exactly how Israel rolls. All right, because Israel was the first to implement the juice passports, the boosters, and everything. Okay, so it says the definition of fully. And one other thing, I'm bringing this out to show you that they're going to continue to move the goalposts. All right, no matter what you do, they're going to continue to fully move the goalposts until their great reset is implemented. Plain and simple. So it says the definition of fully juiced might be subject to change. And why are they changing the definition? Think about why they're changing the definition. They're changing the definition because you're going to be required to continue to get these jabs either every 5 or 6 months, or twice a year, or whatever it may be. This is going to be a continuous thing. Okay, this is going to be a continuous thing, and this is using gradualism to use what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe predictive programming. They get you used to what's coming. These are gradual steps. They move the goalposts gradually. The definition of what fully juiced means is going to ever be changing, because their plan is to continue to jab you up with this juice. It says the definition of fully juiced might be subject to change in the future Now that 19 booster shots are out, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said on Friday, we have not yet changed the definition of fully juiced. We will continue to look at this. We may need to update our definition of fully juiced in the future, CDC Director Rochelle Walensky told reporters at a news conference. Currently, being fully juiced in the United States means that an individual has either both doses of the Pfizer or Moderna or one dose of J&J. With the rollout of booster shots, that definition might change. So far, the CDC has recommended that certain groups of people, like those who are 65 or older, get one. If you're eligible for a booster, go ahead and get your booster, and we will continue to follow, Walensky said during Friday's news conference. People who are at least 18 years and either work in high-risk settings or have underlying medical conditions are also eligible to receive a booster shot at this time. The Food and Drug Administration earlier this week authorized booster shots for both Moderna and J&J. Okay, individuals are able to mix and match booster doses with their original 19 jab, the FDA said. So anyway, like I said, man, continuing to move the goalposts. Okay, and this is further proof of them changing the definition of what's considered being fully juiced means. Lets you know that more and more changes are in store for you in the future. Okay, more and more jabs are in store. Okay, so let's get a precept. It says, woe unto them, Zakar'Yah, Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. All right. And these Edomites, man, when I say Edomite, I'm referring to Esau Edom. Okay. Edomites, the biblical nationality of the so-called white man. Okay. These Edomites continue to write these unrighteous decrees, all right, in order to get their agenda completed. Okay, their great reset. Okay, which will be spearheaded by that Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. Okay, and you know what? I think I got this in the. Let's get this. Yeah, I had it in the blue letter, and I have the NIV version, because this is definitely talking about Esau Edom, the wicked. So it says, woe to them, Isaiah 10:1. Woe meaning destruction unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. All right. And these people through these unrighteous decrees are taking away the right. Okay, taking away the right from the poor and the needy. Okay, the right to work, to provide for their family. All right, to be a citizen who can sustain himself due to his hard work. All right. But through these unrighteous decrees, forcing someone to put something in their body, all right, is an unrighteous decree. Let's read it in the NIV. It says, woe, once again, woe meaning destruction to those who make unjust laws, to those who issue oppressive decrees, to deprive the poor of their rights and withhold justice from the oppressed of my people, making widows their prey and robbing the fatherless. All right. And this is what the wicked does, man. This is one of the ways that he takes peace from the earth. Okay. So I had another precept. This is Daniel chapter 8 and verse 25, and it reads, and although it says, and through his policy, okay, his policy, his mandates, his unrighteous decrees, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall he destroy many. All right, by peace. All right, he's coming in peace, saying that he's doing this for your own good. All right, that all of this is to save you from this destructive thing. So he's coming as an angel of light, like he's coming as he's doing a good thing. But what is the outcome of it? It's destroying people's lives. Okay, it's allowing people not to work. We've seen some of the said side effects from these things on social media videos and things of that nature. All right, so it says, and by peace shall destroy many, and he shall also stand against the Prince of Peace, but he shall be broken without hand. All right, so listen, no matter what you do to try to please Esau, Edom, it's not going to work. He's going to continue to move the goalposts, okay? Because the reason why, because he knows that he has but a short time to fulfill his enterprise, okay? His new world order, his great reset, all right? A world ran by digital currency, where these elite Edomites, the Rothschilds, the Gettys, the DuPonts, they control the money. Complete control of it. Thus controlling the people. Give me control of a nation's money, and I care not who makes the laws. This is going to grant him all the power in the world. Okay, once he comes out with this digital CBDC. Okay. All right. So once again, we're going to play this one more time. Listen carefully.
Like, why would you just get the system going? Why would you have the thing up and running and then essentially pull all that down, pull all the architecture that you built, all the infrastructure that you built, the culture that you've changed? Why would you change that 4 or 5?
All right. And I wanted to speak on that also. So lucky if this video is running a little long, because it wasn't meant to be, but I going in the spirit. So listen to what he said. All right. Something that he said that was, very important. He says, why would you get the system up and going and running, and in 4 or 5 weeks later, take it down? So why would you get change the culture, change the infrastructure, change the architecture, change everything to be able to implement, these mandates and get everything implemented for the safety of the people, to just change it after 5 weeks, 6 weeks, or 7 weeks? No, all these things that they've introduced as far as the pertaining to this pandemic are gonna stay in effect. Okay. He even told you, it doesn't matter if it's 90%, 95%. The goal is to get everyone juiced. Okay, and he said you're not going to be able to wait it out. He said it will not be anytime soon. You can't outwait the virus, he says. So you got to listen carefully to what these people are saying. They've implemented a system, an infrastructure, okay, which ultimately, the most important thing about this infrastructure are the jab passports, because once these jab passports are implemented, Okay, and everybody's in that system. The Revelation chapter 13 and 16 is right around the corner. You can believe that. All right. So let me just play this.
Why would you just get the system going? Why would you have the thing up and running and then essentially pull all that down, pull all the architecture that you built, all the infrastructure that you built, the culture that you've changed? Why would you change that 4 or 5 weeks later? We will not be doing that here. I'm not going to say to someone, oh, look, just wait us out, will you? Just wait 4 or 5 weeks and then you'll be able to go to the pub. No. If you make the judgment to not get vaccinated and you reckon you can wait out us or the publican or whoever you want to think you're waiting out, you won't wait out the virus, because the virus will be here for a long time and your only protection against it is being vaccinated. This will be well into 2022, well and truly into 2022. Then we're going to get into booster issue, so it won't be your first and second dose. It'll be have you had your third? And then the other issue will be, well, who knows what variant's coming? Who knows? Like, we don't. So we've got every reason to be confident. We've got every reason to be optimistic and upbeat. The Victorians have done an amazing job, but that job includes us making some difficult decisions, and that's to keep people who are not vaccinated out of some of those venues that we've been talking about today.
How long do you foresee us?
I can't put a date on it. I cannot put a date on it, but I can tell you this: it will not be when we reach 90%. It will not be, anytime soon. That's going to function for a period of time, well into 2022.
There's been reports that there's been thousands.
For instance, I'll give you an example. The Grand Prix is in April. I don't think there's going to be crowds at the Grand Prix made up of people who have not been double dosed. Just to give you a time frame. Doesn't mean it'll end the day after the Grand Prix, but that just gives you some sense. Please don't play that game of let's just wait them out and then we'll be able to do everything we want to do and have not got jabbed. No, that will not be the case here. And if you make that choice, it'll be a very long wait and you won't outwait this virus. If you're not vaccinated, you'll get it and you've got every chance of becoming very, very unwell.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 and verse 10, and it reads, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away." All right. And let's jump down to 13. And it reads, "Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity?" All right. And the answer is nobody. All right. Especially after all the warning that Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, has given y'all, all right, through his mouthpiece, all right, his men, the prophets, out on the highways and byways, sighing and crying, okay? So, this is pretty self-explanatory what the Lord is saying in these precepts right here, all right? So anyway, Lord's willing, this was edifying. Shalom, Israel. Wa abad babal.